Hello again, gang. Welcome back to the channel. Another Football Manager 2023 experiment with me, Jayhuahua. Of course it is. You know what time it is. I know what time it is. I'm eager to go. Let's get into it without any further ado. Yes, hello, gang. We are back. Shout out to Wopoj, however you pronounce it, who gave the idea. He wanted to know about the game time experiment from two varying levels of wonderkid. We've got one at Barcelona to start with and one at Bromley, Nevada National League. Now we've got player Juan for Barcelona, who's got this set of attributes. He is a central midfielder. Exactly the same attributes is player them all. I'm not going to show you because if you've seen Juan, you've seen them all. Hey, we've started already, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye to those who hate puns. Strap yourselves in for those who are sticking around. 80 out of 200 as a current ability, 200 as the potential, as I've just mentioned. Both central midfielders, as I say, Juan at Barcelona, them all at Bromley. It's going to be very tedious calling him them all. I've just done it for the joke, and yeah, it wasn't even that good, was it? Needless to say, it is staying. The contracts, we're looking at them all now. We've seen Juan, but we're looking at them all. 2026, a 4-year contract. So the idea is that hopefully them all will play quite a lot of Bromley, whereas Juan will probably not play that much at Barcelona. Will he go out on loan, get some game time? Possibly. Well, who knows what's going to happen? But we're going to find out together. So, without further ado, let's jump through. We normally go through a year to see where they go in these experiments, but we know where they are. They're already in position. So we're going to jump through 2 years. 2 years to begin with. Unheard of for Jayhuahua experiment. Yeah, we're breaking new ground, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. 2024. Well, Juan has played once. He's now at Barcelona B. Of course, game time is important. He's not even really played for Barcelona. He's played non-competitively for Barcelona under 18s or whatever it is. Played non-competitively for them. He's now at 99 out of 200. Play them. So the first thing to even look at is his Antigua and Barbuda. 13 caps, 3 goals. For Bromley, 42 games. And then the following season, he only played 20. Why? Did he have an injury? No. He's gone to Man City for £325,000. He's only just gone there. He's on the loan list. Deary me. So this is it now. Like, he's at Manchester City. He's on 111. So he's improved considerably more through the game time. So we've proved that for a start. He's capped for Antigua and Barbuda. Is that right? He's not going to be capped for England. Juan, on the other hand, has had 1 game ever. Let's have a look at the pair of them then. He's got a new contract as well, an extra year on it, 2027. What's his contract's to 2028, so 4 years. We'll compare them as a duo. Juan's got a better vision, probably had laser eye surgery, but them all is better all round. And I don't know why, in the polygon, in terms of vision, he has got better vision. Because if you look at vision and passing, they're identical. The only difference is flare. Maybe flare must have an impact on the vision section of the polygon. Both earning about the same amount of money, both future prospects. And the future is where we're going to go. What a link that was, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to fly through this experiment now. We're going to go through 3 more years to the end of when Juan's contract is expiring. Will he get a new contract? Will he play at all? Or will he move on to a different club in order to get some game time? Okay, so at 23 years old, player them all is now English again. 321 caps, 121 goal. What has happened here? Other nationalities, 13 caps, 3 goals for Antigua and Barbuda. He's changed. 321 caps, 121 goal. He's 23, however, but he's on international duty with England under 21s. This is all over the place. This is all over the place. I'm absolutely baffled. For a start, let's just break it down. He's at Sunderland on loan from Manchester City. Okay, so he's not left. He went to Wolfsberger, Sunderland, and then Sunderland again. So he's had 2 years at Sunderland, playing a lot. Didn't play much for Wolfsberger, but he's played every game for Sunderland nearly in the Championship. Pretty much every game in the Championship, let it be known. And, he's only gone and bloody won it. He's only gone and won the Championship with Sunderland, being a key player for them. Absolutely brilliant. And he's at 144 out of 200 at 23. I think I started him a bit late and a bit low to actually hit 200 as well. Because I'd usually bring him in at 15, but they were 18 at the start of this experiment. and only have him at 90, and they do often get there. Also, let it be known, I did have middling hidden attributes as well. 10s for everything of note, 1 for injury proneness, of course, even though injury proneness is not that important. So with it, average hidden attributes, they're definitely probably not going to get to 200, especially from where they started and the age. So if they do, it would be very impressive. Player Juan has been retrained as a wing-back left. He's had 19 appearances in total for Barcelona. He's 23 years old. He's played for Barcelona B, quite a lot off the bench. And I'll be honest with you, this is as conclusive as it comes. He's not played. He's got 108 out of 200. Player them all is absolutely taking him apart. If we look at the polygons, I mean, look at that. Look at that. It looks like player them all at Juan. Basically exactly the same polygon, but player them all has just been inflated. I mean, he's barely played for Barcelona. I don't think he's played for Spain, has he? He can't have done. No youth caps, no games for Spain. 108 in 5 years. 5 seasons we've gone through so far, and he's moved from 80 to 108. So that's 28 attribute points, whereas player them all has gone to up 64. 64. Let's cut out that big gap because that was easy maths. Be impressed at how quickly I did it. The question is, 1, how much better will them all get? Will he actually play for England? Who's in charge of England? Oh, we're going there. It's still Gareth. It's still Gareth, which means no Ralph yet. Shall we look? Go on, let's have a look where Ralph is. Since the update, honestly, he's never coming. He barely comes to England anymore. He's manager of Austria once again. Had a brief spell at Brighton. Resigned because he got the Austrian job. Relegated. Sack him. Get him in at England. Come on, Ralph. So, it's surely, where's Juan's contract? So he's had another 2-year contract slapped on. They're paying £32,500 a week. He's never playing. Barcelona, no wonder you're in financial ruin, Barcelona. We're not sure on his wages. 23 grand a week at Man City. And Sunderland aren't paying the wages. And do you know what? Man City are getting their money's worth here by paying. Look at how good he's got. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go on loan and he plays quite a few times from the bench for Man City in this next season. And I tell you what, let's do that. Let's look. Let's go one more year to 2028 and see if he does actually play a few games. So he's still at Manchester City. Hold the phone. 144. He hasn't improved at all in a year. And I'll tell you why. Because he played once off the bench. Manchester City. This is why he bankrupted you and all those other ones. Fuming. Juan. He's now listed. Surplus to requirements. You want 125k for him. I'll give you 125k for him. On the olden days, eh? Would I? Would I pay 125k for him? I think I definitely would. Because he'd probably be an A+. Because of his potential at 200. He would never get there, of course, but if I played him a lot, he would rock it up in value. 12 times for Barcelona B he's played in the most recent season, 5 of them as starts. Play them all, unfortunately, no more under 21 caps or an England cap to his name because Manchester City have just absolutely done nothing with him. Send him out on loan for another season. Let him get a bit more amongst it. So he's listed Juan is listed for Barcelona. Will he move? That's the question that we're going to ask ourselves now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump through. We're going to go to 2030, which is 2 more years. Juan should have got his move. Will them all still be at Man City? Because that's when his contract's expiring. Let's see. So, firstly, Juan is playing for Firth. He left Barcelona B for £81,000. And for 2 years, he has been in the first team at Firth. So he's playing quite a lot. That's good. And he's up at 134. He's finally making some serious moves in his ability. 134 out of 200. Play them all, though, is at Bristol City in the Sky Bet Championship. 157 out of 200. He's contracted to Bristol City. He's transfer listed by request for £59 million. He's wanted by Newcastle and Real Madrid. And do you know what? I'm not surprised he's wanted by Real Madrid. He looks fantastic. Manchester City sold him for £26 million. So where we were last time, £26 million to a championship team. He's then come up again to the Premier League and played all but 1 game for Bristol City in a season where they got relegated. That's a problem. He's not been capped by England. Big Jose's not a fan, apparently. Gareth got sacked after 11 years, 222 days. No caps, though, for them all. But he looks very good. If we compare, again, you know what? Juan's actually catching him up. 157 to 134. They are 26 years old. I'm thinking Play them all. If he stays at Bristol City in the Championship this season and doesn't leave, which is not likely, I think he will leave. If he doesn't leave, I think he could get there. Maybe. I don't know. He's still a long way, 43 attribute points, but players do improve to like 31, 32. 32 is the threshold where they start to decline. So I'm going to jump through 3 years now to 2033. They'll be 29 years old. And how will he be doing? Will them all have got there? Will he have a big move and not play as often? And will Juan, with his game time, overtake? Let's see. Okay, so we have hit the levels, I think, ladies and gentlemen. Juan is at 143. He's at Monaco. He's wanted by Forest. He's transfer listed. £23 million Monaco paid for him. And they've not had the money's worth, have they? They have not had their money's worth. Pretty disappointing, really. From the context of the experiment and what we set out to achieve, I think we've hit the nail on the head that how important game time is. You knew how important game time was. But Barcelona have got obviously fantastic youth facilities, and player Juan, he had the opportunity through the Barcelona Academy. Same as Xavi, same as Iniesta, same as Lionel Messi. Mention him third, an insult. He hasn't kicked on because he's never been given the game time, and they never decided to send him out on loan. Why didn't Barcelona want to loan him out? This is the problem. He didn't get any game time. Play them all. He went to Newcastle for £57 million, and look at him now, worth 114 to 341 million. Bristol City have made good money, to be fair. I wonder if he had a relegation release clause in his contract. Possibly not. He was transfer listed by request. £57 million Newcastle spent. And he's played a lot. He's been playing a lot for Newcastle. Fair play. Still never been capped for England. Eddie Howe is now in charge of England. Jose Mourinho resigned just under a year ago. And for some reason, Ralph, he can't get the England job, so he's come to get the Irish job. He wants to come over to this part of the world. He loves it over here. He was sacked as manager of Austria in 2028. Straight into the Ireland job. And he's just been relegated again from the European International League. It's a lot of relegations for Ralph, isn't it? A lot of relegations. I think the Ralph bit is sort of coming to an end, isn't it? He's not becoming the England manager at all, and we still check in every single time on Ralph. But it's what you guys want. If I don't check, the amount of comments I get, upwards of 3. Any love for Ralph, pop it in the comments. Any thoughts on this or any future ideas, let me know. And, of course, drop a like on it while you're here. Segued that in nicely, didn't I? Subscribe as well. Thank you. So, yeah, 29 years old. Juan is at 143. Them all is at 163. I can't see them getting much higher. We're going to jump through 2 years to 31. That will probably be their peak ability. And then we're heading off to the end of their careers. 166 and 144. So they've maintained where they were. Nottingham Forest got their man. The Juan and only. £8 million they spent. It was 2 years ago. So, yeah, they spent it in every game he played in the Premier League. In another relegation season. They've done a lot of relegating, haven't they, these two players? Never been capped at all in any capacity for Spain. Getting £94,000 for Nottingham Forest at this ability. He's a good player. He's turned into a good player, hasn't he? He's all right. The Mall is still at Newcastle. He's very good. Playing a hell of a lot. And 17 caps, 3 goals for England. When did he make his international debut? First international cap against Kosovo at 29 years old. So he waited till he was 29. He's won the Europa League with Newcastle twice. Jurgen's in charge of Newcastle. Bloody hell. It's been Man City and Liverpool who have won pretty much every single season. Vinny Komp's in charge of Man City. Arsenal and Chelsea snuck in with a couple at the back here. Arsenal got the first bloody one. Mikel Arteta still there. 2 Champions Leagues for them as well. Well, this is taking a little bit of a turn. PSG, Man City. Look, Pep got sacked. Fine. Carlo Ancelotti got sacked. And Vinny Komp's been there for the best part of 10 years. Okay, so it's 166 and 144. We're in 2035. When will they retire? Probably about 2041 in 6 years. I'm going to go to 2041 and we're going to find the end of the careers, do a bit of a roundup. Obviously, we know he's had the better career, them all. It's not even close. At this point, 20 attribute points difference. He's played a lot more, played a lot higher level. He's won trophies, won the Europa League. I want to see what happens at the end. Right, matey boy's gone. 128 he's at Newcastle. He's still Newcastle player, them all. He's wanted by Torino. Let's go back a year. Right, Juan's retiring. He's gone to Fenerbahce. He went to Palace for £10 million, played 30 times in the Premier League. Kevin Nolan in charge of England. Sorry, Kevin Nolan in charge of England. I accidentally clicked on that. Modena, he then went on loan to Modena, played 33 times. Then for free, went to Fenerbahce, played 5 games last season. And this is it for Juan. This is it. I'm in the way, so let's move out the way. 7.01 in his career. So do you know what? The leagues are loaded. I just wondered because obviously at Firth, having said that, 7.01 is not too bad, and it's obvious why he's got it, because he's got like a season here in the Championship at 7.24, 7.34 here as well for Forest. Forest had a really good time with him. His best days were at Nottingham Forest in his 30s. Nearly 400 games in the league, 35 goals, 59 assists, 24 man of the matches. So he's had an all right career. He had the potential to be one of the best players in the world, and he never ever got there. He's done all right. He's retiring. He's going to leave with his head held high. Let's jump forward then a couple of years, because Demol was still at Newcastle. He was worth nothing and he was wanted. So 2042, right, he's gone. So despite the fact he was wanted, he never went anywhere else. He left Newcastle at the end of his contract and retired. He never went to Torino. He said, no, thank you. 56 caps for England in the end for them all. He's grown himself a lovely little beard as well. Distinguished. And of course, so he's got a 7.06. So he's only just a little bit better than player Juan, but he's done a lot better. He's played for much better teams. Or a much better team, Newcastle, who, as we saw, did win the Europa League twice. We will go and check and see if they've won anything else. He's been there for 10 years now at Newcastle, so £57 million was money well spent, if you ask me. He's been pretty consistent and solid all the way through. This season, look at this, 7.47, 12 goals, 11 assists, 8 player of the matches. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And there's no wonder they don't want to renew his contract. He's on his way down in his career. He's got some fantastic attributes still, but his physicals are falling through the floor. He's 37. He's on a lot of money. But as you know, he's spent 10 years at Newcastle. He's considerably his best years of his career. He had a great time at Sunderland, twice on loan. Manchester City. I mean, from Manchester City's point of view, is it good business? They sold him for 26 million. They bought him for 1.3. That's £24 million profit. How much did they pay him wages for those 3 years? Would it have been £8 million? Would it heck? So they've made a profit on him. Absolutely, they've made a profit on him. Because we saw Sunderland weren't paying his wages at one point. Or was that for the whole time? I'm not sure. Because when you extend a loan, the game sort of does something weird like that sometimes, doesn't it? Anyway, sorry, we're digressing. Right. Kevin Nolan in charge of England, we've just seen. Managers. Eddie Howe, Abelardo, Luis Enrique, and Kevin Nolan. So we have not had a Ralph at England, and I bet he's gone. Of course he has. Mikel Arteta's unemployed at Ireland. The Ralph Hasenhüttl. Can't even click on him. Retired from management. He left after 11 years in charge of Ireland. Fair play, Ralph. Stayed till 2039. That's later than he stays quite often. So let's have a quick look at Newcastle then. We've got Dino Top-Muller in charge. And they've won the Premier League in the most recent season. Oh, please tell me they've bloody played him. Look at this. 3 runner-ups in a row. 4 runner-ups in 5 years. Man City absolutely on a tear. Is Vinny Comp still there? Of course he is. 8 Champions Leagues. 3 in a row. 4 in 5 years. Runner-up for Newcastle in the Champions League here. Oh no, he only played once. Off the bench. Won the Europa League in 2040. Won the FA Cup. Club World Championship. Europa Leagues. Didn't get a Premier League winners medal. Oh, the heartbreak. Disappointing. In terms of international accolades then, we've seen France twice, Italy once, England and Spain all winning against Switzerland, Denmark, Italy, Brazil and Argentina respectively. No Euros for England. Another runner-up though in 2036. Norway coming runner-up in 2028. France beating Holland in the first one of the experiment. Croatia winning one and Holland beating Spain. So, what have we learned in today's experiment? Well, I think we all knew how important game time was, but in reality, I didn't know how important it is versus like facilities and like with the clubs that you're at. I know we've done a facilities experiment and facilities are important to a degree, but I think game time is just far more important. And I wonder if Could players get to their potential if they never trained? There's an experiment for you. All squad, never trains. Max potential. Well, I'll be bringing that to the channel at some point in the next few weeks. I'll go and make that database in the next couple of days, I would have thought, because I really like that idea. Any ideas you've got, please let me know in the comments down below. I do try and bring them to the channel. This one, for example, from Wapos. If that's pronounced incorrectly, I do apologise. But yeah, do bring your ideas to the channel, and I'm very grateful of them because they're very interesting, and I might put my own little spin and tweaks on them. I do sit and mull some of them over. I've got some that are sat on my Excel spreadsheet that have been there for months that I haven't decided what to do with them, or I've just, I'm not quite. It's not quite there as an experiment. I don't think it's quite got enough meat on the bone. So yeah. Anyway, waffling. Subscribe, like the video, comment down below, feed that algorithm. Come back soon, or go and watch some of these videos. Facilities, something else. Yeah. Take care. See you soon. That was aggressive. Take care of yourselves. See you soon.